Hi there, everyone. It's Sanremo season right now, and that's probably the most exciting time of the year, at least for me. So I decided to suit up. I'm missing the tie, but I hope that's fine. Sanremo is really special. I mean, in my opinion, it's the music contest that I enjoy the most in the world of all categories. I enjoy it more than Eurovision, so this is my thing, you know. I have a very soft spot for Italian music in general, so in this video, even though I'm not Italian or know any Italian, I'm gonna be incredibly biased because I like the songs that I've listened to this week. 28 of them, it's been a massive, just long journey to get through. But there are 28 songs. I've enjoyed pretty much all of them. A few small little misses here that doesn't don't really connect with me. But as an overall selection, this is just fantastic. So we're gonna get into it. I have a tier list in front of me, and you can see it on the screen right here, I believe. And basically, 28 songs. We're gonna put them into the different categories according to my taste, of course, my subjective preferences. And yours will look entirely different to mine, I'm already sure of it. But this is gonna be a long journey, so I've prepared myself with a beverage. Cheers. And let's get right into it. I'm gonna start from the bottom and work my way up, and we're gonna start with the song that I kind of enjoyed the least. But the thing is that I haven't really prepared for this. Like, I don't know where I'm gonna put all of the songs. I've just kind of written down a few notes about the song so I kind of know what I'm gonna say. But if the songs end up in a particular order that I don't really agree with, that's just the way that it's gonna be. I'm gonna try and put them at least in the category that I think they really fit in, and then where they are ranked in each category, it's all the same, really, kind of, I think. We're moving our way upwards anyway. I know for a fact that one song that I'm gonna put in the not for me category is a song with a very short title that I can actually pronounce, and it's called Polvere. And just looking at the photos, I know that it's this one right here. Really simply, the only reason that I'm kind of putting this down is that I don't really know what's up with all of this vocal processing on this song, because it has like a really upbeat chorus, and that part kind of hooks me. I get intrigued by that. But then you also have the fact that the first chorus is really short, so it kind of takes me out of the song. It's not really cohesively put together in that sense. As the song progresses further, I get more and more into it. But something that completely holds me back throughout the entire runtime is just that there's so much vocal processing on this that it sounds really, really off. It's not really a pleasant listening experience for me. It becomes very uneven, both in terms of like the vocal style, but also because of the structure, of course, as I said. It's just many things that come together here that don't really click for me, and that's why I kind of just don't really particularly enjoy this one. And that's just the way that it's gotta be, you know. You can't click with all of the songs. I admire that this one is upbeat, pretty catchy, has a solid hook to it, but the vocal processing is a big no-no on me. I don't really enjoy that particular aspect of this song that much. We're gonna get into another one that I don't really gel with, and it's called Egoista, and it's this one right here. This one has like some kind of attitude in the second verse, which I'm kind of fond of, but as an overall package and listening experience, once it's over, I've completely forgotten about it, unfortunately. I think that it starts very slow. It doesn't really pick up the pace until very long, like a very large portion of the song has actually passed by, and I'm not really convinced by the vocals either, neither arrangement nor delivery of them. I think the vocal arrangement throughout the song isn't really that intriguing, and the delivery isn't too convincing, so everything just kind of becomes a little bit flat, especially when you're in a selection or competition with so many incredible ballads that are performed incredibly well. I think this one just kind of falls back, ends up in the very background. And I think also, like, instrumentally, it's not too interesting, in my opinion. It's very minimal, not really a lot of variation within the instrumental, and the detailing is almost non-existent. So I would have liked it to be a bit more playful, a bit more intriguing, maybe performed with a bit more conviction, and also have more of a melody to connect with. Right now, I don't really get anything out of this one, so it's not for me. When I'm putting these songs down in this bottom category, I kind of realize that, I mean, we have to consider these categories to be Sanremo standards, which are the standards that are at the very top for me. Because these songs in another selection, they would be a bit higher, probably in the It's Alright category. But here, we'll put them down here. Let's go to another song that I'm going to put in the bottom category, which is a long title. It's called Quando ti manca il fiato. It's this one right here. It has like an emotional delivery to it, but at the same time, I don't really click with the vocal style here. But I think my main issue with the song is that it's overly pretty all over the place as it progresses and such. I feel like there's no real part of the song where I really feel like I can connect with it and actually get dragged along with what's going on in it. I think it has like a vintage sound when the guitars kick in and everything, but still pretty soft, and it feels like it kind of lacks a melody with a more maybe rhythmic impression that it can leave on you. It's not overly interesting in that sense. It more just kind of goes on, and you don't really find anything that you can attach yourself to. It's mostly just delivered through the emotion vocally. There's really not anything melodically or instrumentally that really clicks with me. It feels like a song that kind of wants to present a journey, but rather than a listening experience. And even though there's like aggression in this, I don't really feel a way to kind of connect with anything going on if I don't really have or melodic input, instrumental input, or something that I can really connect with. So yeah, not for me that one either. And I think we're gonna probably stick around in this category for a while. I feel very harsh, but I need to get these songs out of the way early on. We have Cause Perse or Cause Perse. Big plus in this one, energy. Like me some pop punk music, which has really kind of made a resurgence during years of late, which is always nice to see. I love the lighting in this show or in this performance. The light show is really intense, a lot of fun. I like the short runtime of the song as well. It feels like no section is really dragged out or anything, but it's a bit maybe a bit static in its structure. At the same time, it feels like it doesn't really know what it wants to be. It doesn't go all out with the energy throughout the entire song, which probably would have benefited it. I think the drumming is really great, but I don't really think the guitars are that great. They're not layered enough. They're not distorted enough. They don't really offer that drive that I really need to kind of get really invested into a pop punk song. And everything's very like straight on the beat here. It's not very playful in that sense. It's quite standardized for being within a genre that kind of really is all about being playful, creative, assertive, going on impulse. This one feels very kind of formulaic in that sense. Just as a song, I think the performance is just right, but as a song, not really there. And I think vocally, like in the delivery here on the performance, it's a bit all over the place as well. So it doesn't really click with me. It's not for me, even though the genre is definitely has the potential to be up there for me. Let's continue. We got a bunch of songs left. Let me look through my notes here. We're gonna go with Furore, which is this one right here. I think there's like there's a little ambitious choreography with this. I like the input of like backing dancers and how many people are allowed on stage here, and there's also like a nice melody in the chorus of this one, I think. But it's just kind of overall a bit flat throughout, and it kind of loses my interest somehow. Doesn't really spark, my kind of connection to the song. And if it wants to be like a danceable tune, which I think it really wants to, I feel like the structure isn't really working for that, because a lot of parts are kind of just drowned down or like laid back, really killing the energy. And if you want a danceable kind of anthem, I think you need to be a bit more consistent with the intensity of the song. I feel like this one is very mellow in that sense, and when it has like its good upbeat parts, it's fine, but it has too much of the other stuff as well that I can't really click with it entirely. And even though I like the whole effort here, I think it's ambitious and fun, the song isn't quite there for me. I don't really find it that interesting. So yeah, not for me that one either. Should we put more songs in this category, or should we move upwards? I'm just trying to take a look here what we have left. You know what? Let's move up. Let's go for a song that I don't really have much to say about, which is called Lettera 22. This is just fun, you know. It's a fun presentation. Like the suits, like the guitars, charming. Really like the charming outfits, fun package. A little bit of a pleasant song, but not very memorable, if I gotta be honest. I don't really remember anything about the song as it is right now. Um, but yeah, so yeah, not the most outstanding song to have in the selection, but the performance kind of just brings it up and puts this in the middle for me. It's all right. It can go on for 3 minutes. I have a little bit of fun with it just by looking at them, but if I listen to the song, it's not giving me too much. So it's all right. Um, Another one which I think is quite all right is let's go with Sally. I think this one right here. This one I have a bit of a hard time just kind of connecting with. I feel like it's a real slow burner. But I'm very fond of like chord intervals in this song. I think are really pleasant. There's a nice drama to the melody as well. It's delivered very well. I think the vocal style is really difficult for at least me to get into. I don't really click with it. It might be, you know, a thing that you're warming up towards. But like the song, it's a bit of a slow burn in that sense, I guess. Um, like it might be a stylistic choice to sing it this way, but it doesn't really click with me, and it might in the future. But for right now, I don't really I don't really enjoy it that much. I don't think it adds to a pleasant listening experience in that sense. The song is filled with drama, has some nice chords in here, a melody that works with it, and I think that's really what kind of pushes it into the all right category for me, because I still think it's an all right package. It has an emotional delivery to it. It stands out, but at the same time, there are enough parts that kind of hold it back for me to get the full enjoyment out of it. So yeah, that's where I kind of stand on that one. Should we take... What should we take next? We're starting to kind of just get into... There are a lot of good songs here. Let's go with Vivo, this one right here. This is upbeat, has a little bit of a memorable hook, but I gotta say I'm not too fond of the vocal here. I think it sounds a bit on the shouty, or like a bit... it's a very high-pitched kind of sound coming through here and there. I think the verses have a pretty great sound to them. It's like the synths in the back have a really nice contrast with these whispery vocals that the verses have. But I think that the chorus really has like the vocals really pierce through in a bit of a rough way for me. Yeah, I think that melodically it's quite nice, but it comes across a bit shouty for me, and that's really what kind of holds it back. An alright hook, it's pretty memorable, it's upbeat and fun in that sense, but some parts kind of just hold it back a little bit for me. So an alright one. Let's actually take a song that I reviewed like on my channel, which let me just... Oh, I don't have the song title written down. Terribly sorry. You know which one this is, I hope. I think her name is Georgia. And this one, just kind of the standout part of this is the vocal performance. What a great delivery. She sings it incredibly well, but the song is just kind of not that interesting, unfortunately. It really holds itself back in that regard, and I don't really get that much enjoyment out of it. I can watch her perform it for 3 minutes and be enjoyed, but if I would listen to the studio cut of this, I wouldn't really pay any attention to it. If I just kind of isolate the song watching her as well, and I think about everything that's going on in the song, I'm left with a lot to be desired, honestly. She can elevate this song, but not to a point where I think it should be a contender to represent Italy in Eurovision. I wish she has a more powerful and well-suited song for her to really just shine with. Maybe next year. What should we move on with? Let's move on with, I think it's called Stupido. I'm just gonna look it up in my notes here. There are so many songs. Stupido. Yeah, I think the standard part of this song is probably like towards the ending when the guitar kind of takes over. It has a really nice soundstage at that point. I think it's a pretty charming performance as well, but it's also a bit on the flat side. Like in a selection of 28 songs, you need something incredibly special to really stand out. This is all right. It's charming. It has a nice tone to it. Very nice hook, I think. The chorus has a pretty great melody, but the verses aren't really that interesting. They're kind of flat, in my opinion. It's a pleasant listening experience, charming performance, nice little soundstage, especially towards the end, but overall kind of doesn't really stand out enough, I think, to really be among the top contenders here. So yeah, that's my opinion on that one. We're starting to kind of narrow down the field a little bit here. We should probably move on with. I'm kind of tempted to actually move into the next category, to the enjoyable ones. Should we do that? Let's actually do that. Yeah. The first one I'm going to put in that category is called, I think it's called Mostro. Where is it in my notes? It's right there. Mostro, enjoyable one. I like the upbeat vibe of this. It has like this little bit of a club beat, but it's at the same time kind of has an emotional kind of content within it. It's a nice little piano part that puts in the background. Like the vocal delivery of this, it can easily be a bit over the top. It's very intense, and I think in the choruses it can be a bit shouty, but in the verses I really think it's a very palpable opening with the piano and this vocal style. It's very constant, very hectic, and then leading quite nicely into the chorus, which I think has a great just tone to it, especially like the second time around when the upbeat vibe of everything really kicks in. First time I heard it, I kind of felt like the whole kind of club beat inspiration sounds very minimalistic, but the more I thought about it, the more I tried to kind of isolate it as being a club beat, and just more kind of felt like it's a digital input for a modern pop song with a great sound to it. It works. It kind of clicks, and also just love all of the pink colors on stage. So enjoyable one. I get enjoyment out of this one. It's not among my favorites in the selection. It's not a standout in that sense, but it's an enjoyable 3 minutes that I can definitely get behind. And other 3 minutes that I can get behind is about two older gentlemen, very well dressed, very charming on stage. The song is called Un bel viaggio, if I've written the title correctly here. And I kind of like the storytelling aspect of this most of all. This kind of just hard-hitting rap verses are really charming to me. I find a lot of just intensity in them. Sounds great, has a nice backing track to it as well. The chorus isn't really my cup of tea, I guess. Vocally, it's a bit shaky, not quite overly convincing in delivery or that in that sense, but you know, still has a very fulfilling instrumental behind it. There's charm here. It's fun to see them on stage. I like this little DJ booth that they brought up with them as well. And that one of them is starting to, scratch the discs on it. It's just fun. It's charming. Has also really wonderful melody to it. Like in a studio cut, I'm probably more intrigued to listen to it, to just kind of get into this melody of the chorus, which I think is quite nice. But I still want to see them live. It's just that the vocal delivery from the main singer leaves a bit to be desired, I think. But still, enjoyable one. I also think there's another enjoyable one here with a red jacket, and the song is called Mare di Guai. Has some nice chords in this one, like these little small piano segments that introduce new sections of the song. It's really pleasant. Nice vocal delivery throughout here. The only issue really is that probably this song leaves me a bit like, what did that one sound like? That's always what I kind of ask myself once it's over. I think there's like a little bit of energy within this one, which is quite nice. It's a very smooth song in that sense. Has like the emotional delivery while also being a bit on the upbeat side. But I feel like as an overall package, it doesn't quite go all the way. It doesn't have the drive really. I think there's an intriguing section with this song in the second verse where the drumming actually kicks in and builds quite effectively. It really sounds like we're going somewhere very grand, and it builds a lot of suspense to the song and the energy to it. And then I feel like when the second chorus hits, it becomes a massive anticlimax because it doesn't really have that drive that they're kind of building towards. And that's just one of those parts where I feel like, what could have been? Overall, it's nice. It has a nice vocal delivery as well, and it just works. But I feel like there's a little bit of missed potential in this one. Let's move on with... I actually recognize this one right here. Let's just see what it's called. Non mi va. This is charming. This is fun. It fits the category enjoyable to a T. This is just charming, upbeat. I think they're great on stage. They have like this chemistry together, which just really works. My main issue with this one is probably the vocal delivery of the chorus. Like, they're not the most convincing of vocalists. They are, however, very, very. They excel in rapping, basically. That's what I want to say. The singing style just doesn't really click, but when they take over in the verses, they have a great tone to it. Just really intense sections that are really enjoyable, and it's a charming performance to it. Has the sound of like a hit. Like, I could listen to this over and over again for sure, because the chorus has that just intense melody that really brings out a lot of joy and fun listening to it. And then the verses have the more, hectic rap sections. It's a nice combination of different things. And as a studio cut, I think I'll have a lot of fun listening to it. But yeah, maybe if they were a bit more synced vocally, it would just be a real standout here. But for what it is right now, I think it's really enjoyable. But that's kind of where I put the dot, I guess. Let's go also with Lashami. Terribly sorry about the pronunciation. This is just like a little beautifully structured ballad. It has like this vintage rock ballad sound, which is really nice. Very intimate vocal delivery, nice stage layout. Everything just kind of really works. But I think probably a main issue that it has is that it would struggle to kind of stand out in Sanremo. You see, like, you look down here, there are how many? Like 11 songs left. No, 13 songs left. Some of them are, ballads, very beautiful ones. And this one just doesn't really, I guess, hold a candle to most of them. I think these stand out more, and that's just where this one kind of falls a bit flat in comparison. Unfortunate, but that's the way I'm feeling. Let's actually pack this category with more songs. We're gonna have a lot of songs in this category, I feel like. Which one should we take next? There are a lot of good ones here. There are so many good ones here. Wow. Ooh, should we go with Ladio? Yeah, let's go with Ladio. This is a beautiful duet. I love seeing them together. They have such a great chemistry. Like this opening part where the woman is singing and the guy standing behind and just looking at her. I get like chills at those just small moments. It looks so great with the camera work as well, and her vocal delivery is beautiful. And then it combines really well when he joins in for the chorus. It sounds so beautiful and romantic, and I really just like the whole presentation of this. I think it's a beautiful song, very well written, moves nicely, has a nice movement throughout, well flowing. Not the overly most interesting, but it still has, small details here and there that just kind of elevates it, and it's a really pleasant listening experience. I love it to bits. Or I don't love it to bits, but I like it to bits, I guess. Really enjoyable one, really great. What should we continue with? We have a lot of good songs left. Let's go with, what's it called? It's called Se Poi Domani, this one. It just really spoke to me the first time I listened to this. I felt like, wow, this is really, really beautiful. Has like a nice sentimental piano that's kind of constant throughout, and then it's carefully placed strings that just kind of create a smooth little evolution to the song. Like it elevates the song very nicely as it goes on, and then has a very nice vocal tone. I think the vocal is really allowed to shine as well in this song, because the whole instrumental is kind of laid back, but in just a very careful way to actually really let the vocals shine here. And then like at the end you have like an electric guitar which is utilized just right. Everything has this smooth sound to it, creating a very well written and pretty ballad. Just a really pleasant listening experience. Lovely performance, really enjoyable. In another national final, these would place in the great alternative, but you can't have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You can't have that many great alternatives. Only in Italy. Only in Italy. What should we go with next? Oh, yikes. You know what? Oh, what to do? Should we take what's it called? Is it? Oh yeah, I don't have it written. I reviewed this one live. Terzo Cuore, I think that's what it's called. This one puts a smile on my face. I love him as a performer. I love the melody of this, like the upbeat vibes of the choruses. The verses are a bit on the flat and uninteresting side, which is a bit unfortunate. But like the final minute of this song, everything just such a bright mood. It just exudes of this real joy and entertainment, and I get so happy listening to it. And also watching him on stage, he has this just aura around him that really spreads positive vibes, especially when listening to this as well. It's so much fun, so great, lovely package. Verses and like opening half of the song could definitely have been improved a little bit to really just have this more, what do you call it, consistent delivery of the mood and atmosphere that the song actually surround itself by. But overall, just lovely, wonderful. Really enjoyable one, that one as well. And you know what, we're moving up into great alternatives here. Let's start with Due Mila Minuti. This one. What a beautiful ballad. Yikes. It's like wonderfully performed, beautifully written, has a massive struggle in actually standing out in Sanremo because, you know, look at all of these songs. But it's so well written, very classy, crafty little piece of music here. The instrumental sounds great when everything comes together. Just has this wonderful soundstage to it. I love the orchestration here. I think the vocal delivery is flawless. I think like the second chorus, very great standout, which actually leads into the climax of the song. There is, however, one small little issue I have with it, and it's not really a negative issue, but like the song works so well. Everything comes together so nicely towards the end of the song. Like the final minute and a half, it's just out of this world. But what I would have wished for is for that 1 minute and a half to become 2 minutes, and actually just let the instrumental take over for the final 30 seconds. I get it, she sings incredibly well, and I think so too. But if she stops singing and for 30 seconds more, the instrumental just takes over, creates its own atmospheric continuation of what it's already established so far, it would have just kind of just elevated into a completely, like, it would have just pushed it over the line to be among the absolute best for me. This one's still just great alternative, but I think that a little bit more pushing over the edge there at the end would have just really knocked it out of the park for me. Yeah, still great alternative. We got a lot of more of those. Like, just look at the songs on screen here. Wow, I love them. Should we go for... How am I even gonna rank the... Yeah, there's no ranking anymore. I'm just telling you, these 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 songs, all of them, wonderful. Would be amazing to have in Eurovision. Let's start with this one, because it's just at the very end here. Supereroi, a beautiful chorus melody, wonderfully incorporated, like backing choir with the children sitting on the stair here. And I love him as a performer. Like the way he starts off, I think, if I don't recall completely wrong here, he starts off sitting by the piano, and then he walks up, and at the end of the song, he's at the center of the stage, and then he goes back and stands behind 2 of the children on the stair. I think I'm not mistaken there. But like that, just that movement of him, it really adds something to kind of the storytelling of the song. I like how that really creates a life to it, while also just the song on its own has a beautiful life to it. It has a wonderful flow throughout, very mellow sound to it. Also, just instrumentally comes together very nicely. The chorus, beautiful melody, really. Especially like at certain times, it just has this ascending melody that goes really bright, which just has a lovely tone to it. Especially with all of this vocal layering that goes on with the children singing in harmony. Lighting on stage, beautiful. It's like, as a song, pretty restrained intensity wise, but I think that kind of works in its favor here, because it just adds to a layer of just becoming this wonderful listening experience that you can kind of find some comfort in. I'd say really lovely, wonderful. Okay, let's move on. This video is so long, I'm terribly sorry. Let's talk about Okay, let's talk about Tango, I guess. This is beautiful. Just floored me completely. I think this is one of the most beautifully written ballads that I've heard in such a long time. It's so well put together. Just absolutely wonderful. What a performance. What a vocal delivery. The song just has this incredibly kind of romantic tone to it. It's not really one of those songs that has a melody that you will remember and sing to yourself over and over again. It's more just the whole listening experience that's so atmospheric and tangible that just speaks to me as a listener, and I'm absolutely in love with it. Everything that goes on here, just beautiful, and I just love his delivery of it as well. He has this great presence and charisma to the audience, while also singing absolutely beautifully. Um, yeah, if you want my more detailed thoughts on that song, you can check out my review on my channel because it's just beautiful. Let's actually keep that as a trend here. Let's go for Due Vite here by Marco Mengoni. If you want my more detailed thoughts on it, there's a review on my channel you can check out. Again, you can kind of just copy paste what I said about Tango. This is beautifully delivered, has a wonderful vocal performance, very well written. I like the sound of the piano in this song. I think it has a great sound to it. I think his delivery works very, very well with it as well. It's very intense towards the end. The lighting on stage is absolutely beautiful. I love the use of the spotlights and this kind of black, blue, and white color contrast that it really uses. It just looks wonderful. It sounds wonderful. Kind of heard some rumors that this is the song that people expect to win and would be a great alternative, like it says here. Would really be. Another great alternative. Let's go with Made in Italy. This is probably the most fun song in the selection. And like the most fun performance of them all, you know. It's like this kind of electro swing instrumental, really bouncy to the degree. Has a great backdrop for this very charismatic performance. And even though the vocals, like in the verses, are almost whispery, I think that really I like that aspect a lot because it really offers like this contrast to the chorus, which is just insanely catchy. What a hook it is. You can find yourself humming it at any time of the day. The energy of all of this is so great and so much fun. And like this consistency of the song's upbeat qualities just greatly appreciated by me. I think it's a song that does everything it wants to do just right. And it's so much fun to both listen to and watch. Great one. Another great one, Due. Due by Elodie or Elodie. Melody in this one, probably the standout part. What a melody! Like this just constant descending tone in the chorus. It's so catchy and it's stuck in my head for real. Love the playfulness with rhythms in the backdrop as well. I think instrumentally it doesn't really have all of the drive, but it has a very smooth tone to it. It's very pleasant to just listen to and get dragged along with everything that's going on here. Really great one. Lovely melody. I think that's probably the main standard part. And also like the vocal delivery. Her on stage, it just works. Everything clicks. And it's a very memorable song and effort altogether. Wonderful. Wonderful. Alba is also wonderful by Ultimo. It's beautifully written. I love like this, how it kind of utilizes this little piano line as both the opener and the closer of the song. And this piano line is just so beautiful. It has such a great tone to it. Very classy arrangement throughout. This song is the song from this entire selection that really grips me the hardest, I think. Like the intensity, there's a very subtle kind of intensity that's creeping up on me when I listen to this. It starts off very simple, I guess, a bit restrained, very sentimental, but also, you know, quite mellow. But as the song progresses, it just does this subtle kind of evolution into something that really grips me or grabs me and keeps me really tightly and invested into whatever goes on here. As the song progresses, it gets more dramatic. It really offers up a very storytelling-esque type of evolution throughout the song. And you know, what probably sets it apart from most and really sells it is his vocal delivery here, because he sings this one so passionately and really just every word comes across with such a kind of own what do you call it, like a separate feeling to every single word. It's just a song that every word leaves an impression on me, and I can't stop listening to it until it actually just kind of settles down towards the end there. And it closes with this small little piano line as well that's been hinted at the opening. It's a song that really has like this massive section of just intense turmoil while still being a bit restrained in the arrangement, but really just kind of relying on the delivery of the of like passion and raw emotion that I really feel from this one. I really want them to send this one. It's just the fact that I really want them to send, well, 10 other songs. Should we go with Madame? I forgot the name of your song. I'm terribly sorry. What a melody this one has. It's just this constant, hectic storytelling here again. It's like a recurring pattern. The songs are good at the exact same parts, but they're so different from each other. Um, it's so well performed, but mainly just this melody that's so constant. It goes back and forth in terms of like melodic writing, which is just really intriguing. It has the intense delivery. It feels very picturesque the way that it's being delivered or sung. And the intensity of the backing track just kind of further proves my point of that. It's very intense. It just kind of leaves me hanging on every single line and every single word. It's a song that wants to tell a story. You can hear that clearly. I don't speak Italian, so I don't understand the story, but I'm hooked for every word because it's just has that passionate delivery to it and a very, very dramatic backing for it as well. You can hear more thorough thoughts on that one in my review for it as well. Just be on the lookout for that. Most of these songs here at the top I've reviewed already, so you kind of know my thoughts. We have two songs here. Even though I love so many songs from this selection, these two are actually just the smallest little part above the rest for me, and I cannot decide between them. So I'm just gonna go on spontaneous feeling right now, and I think his name is Latza. This is gonna be my second place because I'm only allowed to choose one winner. That's my only rule on this channel. But this is absolutely incredible. I love this vocal chop hook that it really constantly has in the background. The delivery of this vocally is out of this world. Very memorable performance altogether. He's fantastic. Has a great drive in the backing track all the way throughout. It's like a poppy, upbeat instrumental while still having a very sentimental and emotionally heavy tone to it. These little sections that transition verse from chorus where the bass walk is just incredibly deep and massive. Very, very effective in using as a transitional tool. And well, the chorus is so memorable and just has this wonderful melody to it that actually really has this striking delivery on me. It leaves a great impression on me, and I can listen to this one over and over and over again, and I don't get tired from it. It's just that great. What a hook, honestly. It's also just, we have Splash here. I've talked so much in this one that I even forgot to drink. I need to drink before the last one here. Splash. In my review, I said that I love these two. I love their song Musica Leggerissima. I think that's how you pronounce it. I also really, really love Splash. I think this song is just out of this world creatively put together. Wonderful sound on the piano chords here. Very lovely chord intervals that are being shown with a lot of charm. It's a very colorful arrangement altogether. Of course, them on stage is just, I don't even need to mention it because they're wonderful. They bring so much charisma and just joy. They exude of this joy and entertainment. They love being there and they love inviting the audience to be there with them. You can really just see that. The way they collapse at the end after saying splash, it's just genius because it really is such a fun little detail to the song that really works in its favor. Throughout, the song has melodies that are so well written in combination with these chords that they're backed up, that it's backed up by. I think that the opening section of the song, when it kind of feels like it's gonna be like this setback or laid back ballad, it's just a very nice opener that hooks me. And then when the song really kicks into gear with the energy, it's just one of these sections that make you go, wow, okay, we're heading somewhere that I didn't expect. It takes you by surprise. And then as the song just progresses, has this wonderful flow throughout. It's very playfully arranged, a lot of details going on here, nice harmonies of all of the instruments working together. Instrumentation wise, this is pretty massive. It has a lot of just different inputs from different, I guess, sides and ideas. And then vocally, it's, you know, them as well together, singing together. It's just a great little, what do you even say? It's a great delivery, simple as that. I feel like I've said the word delivery a million times today. Terribly sorry about that. But yeah, this one, please, or just Italy, just please send something. Please just never leave Eurovision. I guess that's kind of where I'm going with this, and never stop doing Sanremo, because this week it's been a stressful week for me, going through a lot of national final songs, but going through Sanremo is just out of this world enjoyable, and I've loved every second of it, and I've loved these songs, and I want Italy to be allowed to have 10 spots in Eurovision. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Do share your tier list in the comments, or at least just tell me what song you want to see win Sanremo in the comments. And yeah, I'm on for a little bit of a break now before next week's national finals take over. Hope you'll have a wonderful Super Saturday, or whatever we call it, with 7 national finals on the same night. And I'll talk to you soon again. Take care, and bye-bye.